Hello everyone and welcome to World of Warships Blitz with the Naval Legends. Tier 6 is a major hurdle in the player life cycle in World of Warships Blitz. It is very near to the mid-life cycle of a player, and Tier 6 is the reason many players have a midlife crisis, not in their actual lives but in the game lives. Tier 6 is a major hurdle because from here ships become bigger, stronger, and the armaments, which are torpedoes and guns, become much bigger, much stronger, and much more durable. So this game does not remain a simple game anymore. People have to grind for hours, possibly weeks and months, to get through from Tier 6 to Tier 7. And the hardest class of ships to play are the cruisers. The cruisers come with comparatively weaker armor, a bit weaker armament, and is a jack of all trades basically. So it is vulnerable to all the other types. It is vulnerable to destroyers, battleships, and aircraft carriers. So if you are a cruiser main and you've reached Tier 6, you can rest assured that once you are out of Tier 6 and reach Tier 7, you will be a much experienced player. And you'll know the ups and downs of the game. You will know the issues the game faces and how you can overcome them. I have been a cruiser main for about 2 of the 4 years I've played this game. So I have experienced a lot of how cruisers run. So when the Kriegsmarine Leipzig, the KMS Leipzig, was introduced as a Blitz pass ship, there was no doubt that I was getting it. Along with its historical importance and the ship being so fundamental in the war efforts of the Third Reich, there were no questions that this ship needs to be in my shipyard. And here it is, the Kriegsmarine ship Leipzig. So let's talk about the ship and let's experience it firsthand. To be honest, I did play a few games before I made the review so that I can bring a very honest and authentic review to you. So this is not a fresh ship for me, but yes, I still have very less matches. I guess less than 10 matches. I have less than 10 matches in this ship, so it is still very new, and my reviews will be very organic. Yes, so let's go and look at the stats, right? So this ship is very unique in the sense. Let's go over the details, right? So Leipzig is a light cruiser that embodies the further development of the Königsberg class ships. She differs from her predecessors in a layout and slightly modified defense system, and that's very historically accurate because there were 2 ships of the Nuremberg class of ships. Here it's given Leipzig class, right? Because the Leipzig was the first ship to be made, but Nuremberg was a ship which survived. Leipzig was a smaller ship than Nuremberg, and if you remember, Nuremberg is the ship which we have as a Tier 6 Tech 3 ship in the German cruiser line. So Nuremberg was the second ship and Leipzig was the first. Leipzig was unique because it was smaller, it had weaker guns, it had weaker torpedo tubes, right? But it was much weaker in terms of armament in comparison to Nuremberg, but it had the ability to actually go into the enemy lines and cause major damage. It was lost, Leipzig was lost in a very infamous way when the heavy cruiser Prince Eugen mowed through the ship, cutting it into half. The ship survived the collision, but it was never restored into active service. So that is the basic history of the ship. So let's go over the stats which I have made. Okay. So before we understand, let's look at how I have built my ship. So since it's a premium ship, all of these slots have been fully upgraded, and I have taken elite ship bonus of Ego or elite gun operator. So elite gun operator makes the ship much more reliable. So this ship is equipped with engine accelerator 1 and the rapid reload 1. So our focus has to be around making this ship utilize these capabilities to its fullest extent. We need to make the ship faster and its guns more meaner. So for that very reason, I have selected the elite gun operator. It reduces the battery reload time of the main battery guns by 3%, and the main battery traverse speed is increased by 7%. I have paid a bit more by using the exclusive premium pass, that is the higher tier premium pass, to get the camouflage eagle. So this is the normal camouflage, which is a very lazy job from World of Warships Blitz. It's just a color tone update from the normal gray, right? So it's not the best, and the perks which you get aren't quite different, right? If you can change, you will realize that eagle gives us 4% extra hit points, 4% main battery firing range extension. It reduces the maximum main battery shell dispersion by 4%, and it increases the max traverse speed by 4%, while the historical camouflage provides 4% increase in the main battery firing range, 4% increase in the torpedo range, 4% increase in the max traverse speed, and reduces surface detection by 4%. So both of them are good camos in terms of boosts provided, but I have taken this particular camo purely based on the exterior looks perspective, right? So if you want, you can make this ship depending on whichever build you want. If you take this will be more of a stealth build, where you will be, if you have this particular camouflage, try and take the equipments around this, because the elite bonus remains same, the elite gun operator, but the supplies and equipments can be shifted based on the camouflage. And the reason is this: if you have the historical camouflage, make the ship into a stealthy cruiser, right? But I am using eagle, which makes the ship a bit more of a brawler type. It cannot brawl in the likes of the Derflinger or the Bismarck or the Shanos, for example, or even Bayern, its own tier ship. But it can brawl to some extent, and it becomes a damage earner against destroyers if you use the eagle camouflage, right? So for this video, we'll use the eagle camouflage. So for consumable, we have the normal ones. I'll change it to the advanced repair kits and the advanced damage control. For supplies, I have increased the ship's speed by using refined diesel. I have reduced the battery reload time by using improved crew rations, and I have also invested a bit in reducing the surface detection, right? So I am compensating the things which I didn't get in the camo by using the supplies, right? So this ship becomes a completely usable ship, right? And for equipments, I have chosen main battery modification 2 in my first slot to reduce the main battery reload time and it increases the unreliability of the guns, because the survivability is reduced by 1/4. But this is a good trade-off, I guess. It's a good trade-off because you can live with one less set of guns. Yes, you lose 1/3 of your power, but using rapid reload you can still keep up. And if you can play the ship well, you generally would not have the reason to actually destroy your turrets, right? And there are no other ships which can actually destroy a turret except battleships and heavy cruisers. So you need to chart out your tactics well. And the other two slots, that is slot 2 and slot 3, I have used the steering gear modification. I have used the double steering because the ship is a bit sluggish on its traverse speed, right? So I want to make the ship a bit more maneuverable in not so good situations. So I've used these. You can change. So if you ask me what are the other options, here you can use the torpedo tube modification or the auxiliary. Look, there are no secondary batteries in this ship, so, and the AA is pathetic, so there's no use taking this. You can take these if you want to make it a torpedo based cruiser, because it has a massive torpedo range but very less detectability, so you can stealth torp if you use this. There's no requirement of taking main battery modification 1 because the guns rotate quite fast, but if you want to make them rotate faster, you can choose this. And finally, aiming system modification 1. This is possibly not the best slot, right, because it gives some increase to every single armament, but it is not the best. So generally avoid going for aiming system modification, but depends on you. For second slot, you can take damage control system modification 1. That's a good choice. You can take steering gear modification 1, which is my choice, and you can do armament modification 2, which basically reduces the repair time by half. So what it does is that even if you lose your turrets, the auto repair time is shortened. So basically your guns will get repaired faster, right? So the first option, damage control; the third option, armament; and steering. These three are the best options. The other two I would not recommend. And finally, for specialization, you can take this, right? You can increase your survivability by 25%. This does not mean that your guns will be they'll be invincible. They will be broken, but the chances will be somewhat same as to what it used to be before. So this is something which you can take. You can take torpedo defense modification. It is also a good choice. I have chosen the steering gear modification, so that's as it is. You can take concealment system here to reduce the concealment, make it much more stealthy. Or finally, you can take propulsion modification and couple it up with your engine boost to make it a much more faster ship. So for third slot, any of these will work. I have taken double steering just to make it more traversable, and a reload to reduce the reload time, right? And finally, let's go over to the commander. I have a 2-point commander because this is the special commander we got with Leipzig. So I have focused on underwater protection at the moment and torpedo alert because we do not have sonar, so we won't be able to correctly chart where the torpedoes are going. So knowing that they will be coming towards our way, if you know that early, it's easier to dodge them, right? That is my two choices. Further down the line, whenever I'll be guiding this captain, I'll be in the third slot. I would prefer to take the high alert or the artillery maintenance expert, depending on how I play my ship, right? So this is a very good option as well. Artillery maintenance expert would be useful, but it has a delimiter that the ship has to be 75% healthy or above. High alert, on the other hand, is quite dependable, so this is an option which you can take. Here for the fourth, I'd again say Victorious Charge is the best option, right? There are no questions about it. Victorious Charge is the best option. For tier 5, you can choose the Special Survivalist Plus, but I don't think that is essential. I would suggest you go for Fire Supremacy, which adds one more rapid reload to your system, and that is important because you have 2 rapid reloads. If you have one more, you will have 3. That will make you much more effective, right? For tier 6, I would go for Generalist or Exploit Weakness because I don't have any sonar, so there's no use adding this sonar skill. But if you want to use the Lucas Lange commander in any other German ship, you can use the Recon and Surveillance Plus. That's a good option. I guess I'd go for the Exploit Weakness because you can be a very, very good support ship with this. If you use Reichi while someone has a perma flooding or perma fire, you can actually set much more fires and do much more damage. That is a positive thing. In the 7th tier, I would take this. Yes, so there are 2 options which you can take, either fully prepared or marksman. I would probably go with marksman because I'd probably go with fully prepared because I do not have precise aiming, right? So I have to go for fully prepared. So my repair kit will take lesser time to come out of cooldown, and since I'm using premium repair kits, I can have a much faster cycling of my repair kits, right? For tier 8, I would suggest you take Adrenaline Rush, right? It reduces when the ship is in a very dire state. You can use this main battery reload time reduction and the torpedo tube reload time reduction, right? That is very, very useful. You can also use Extinguisher, but that's not the best way, right? anyways you will be taking less damage as a cruiser, and even if you are in a situation where you're taking multiple perma fires, you're anyways dead, right? So using this to have a last stand would be better in my opinion, but it depends on you. For 9, I would take engine overload, no questions, because I have engine accelerator 1 and I want to increase its efficiency. That's the best, right? You can take demolition expert if you want to have a module breaking point of view of the game, but then not the best option. Still go for engine overload, please. And then for the 10th, I would generally go for master reloader, which increases the rapid reload skill duration and reduces the rapid reload skill cooldown time with 3 rapid reloads, which comes of course from I think the 5th, yes, where I have fire supremacy and I couple it with master reloader, I can become an invincible cruiser for destroyers would be just, how should I say, they'll be peeing their pants, right? So it'll not be very, very good for them. So that is one way. I would suggest to go for this. You can take compartmental maintenance, but not the best option again. And finally, here it's on you. Okay, I would suggest you take APCS, right? Because APCS would make you more capable of punching through battleship armor. At this point, if you're going against good battleships, right, like the British or the French, you can still citadel them. I have a shot in my channel, if you have seen, where I have actually citadeled Iron Duke with the Leipzig. So that is the possibility of the ship. So you can take APCS and make it much more effective, or you can take the IFHE, but the HE in this ship isn't that effective, right? So I would go for APCH whenever I CS when I get this, and for 12 I would suggest, right, because these are very hard to choose for this ship, because I would suggest I'd go for protection for the ship's deck, horizontal protection expert probably, to prevent citadels from dipping shells from long distance battleship shells, right? It's tier 6, so you'll have long distance battleship shells. Colorado, if you are in a Doom division, you might get tier 8s as well, so you'll get Kansas, you will possibly get if I remember correctly, you will get North Carolina, you will get the Otago. I don't remember the tier 8 battleships, so please don't come at me, but you will get tremendously dangerous ships. Plus you will get ships like Julio Cesare, right, which are deadly. You will get Piotr Veliki, right? So these ships can actually punch through your upper deck, so you need to prevent that. You can use horizontal protection expert. You can also use giant hunter, but then not the best, because you might not be using your torpedoes that much. Yes, you'll be using it much more than in Neuenberg, but you might not be using it as much. So that is my build. You can rewind the video and watch it, because I don't remember what I said, but yeah, you can do it. So this is it. So after all of this build, the ship stands in this state. It has a hit point of 21,289, which is good. It has decent protection, not the best, but somewhat decent. It has 32.23 knots as speed. It has 9 150mm 60 caliber SKC 25 guns, which has a base reload of 7.92. So if I am using reloader, right, the reload booster, I can possibly reduce it to like 5 seconds or 4 seconds somewhat, so that would be good. Then the range is 10.4, not the best, but yeah, you can make it work. The HE has 403 hit points damage, not the best, frankly. The AP has 644, so you can target the destroyers and the cruisers with this. Torpedo tubes are 533mm drilling 4x3 torpedoes. This is not historically accurate, because Leipzig used 500mm torpedoes, right? So this is a bit historically inaccurate, but we can go with it. It has a damage of 3105, so not much single-handedly, but if you can put all the 6 torpedoes into one side, or even possibly 12, if you can plan your attack correctly, you'll be actually doing a lot of damage. That is something. And it has a massive range of 8.4 kilometers and a surface ejection of 7.56. So basically you will have a 1 kilometer buffer where you can stealth torp, and that is the interesting side of it. But don't expect a lot of things from the anti-aircraft armament, because it is minuscule. It won't do anything, right? So I want to actually experiment a bit here. So before we go into the match, let's take a look. Do you want me to take a look? I don't think we can take a look after the match, right? Or we want to take it now? Let's take it now. Yeah. What's the big loss in that? Let's add this ship to the list. And if I choose the premiums, I don't have. Yes, I have the Neuenberg. I'll add this Neuenberg, right? And I'll compare. If you compare, you will see that the Neuenberg has the sonar and the precise aiming system, and I have the rapid reload and the ship accelerator. Both of them are good in their own spaces. So if statistically speaking, they have the same survivability, they have similar maneuverability, but in the gun section you will see that Nuremberg has a slower reload, it has a faster reload, and a much higher range. That is something weird, but then, well, that is as it is, right? But same damage, same situation. Torpedoes, we have a significantly higher range. We have 3 kilometer additional range. Nuremberg has a much better AA suite. We have less AA, so of course we'll have a weaker suite. And surface detection, we are a bit better than the Nuremberg. But interestingly, Nuremberg cannot stealth torpedo, but we can. So that would be a trump card, a hidden, how should I say, a hidden trump card against players who are not very sure of how the game runs, right? Yes. So let's go. Let's try a match. I've spoken directly for 21 minutes and I hope you enjoyed it as of yet. So if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll get some good videos. Possibly we'll have a bot-filled match because people don't play at this time, at this hour in the Asia server. But I still have 3 players in tier 6, so I'm not very sure as to how we will be slotting each other. Yep. So Leipzig, till at the moment as I'm playing it, Leipzig seems a very good ship, and we have a match. We have a 3 versus 3 with 4 versus 4. I'm sorry, with 3 bots. So we have Prince Idle Friedrich and 2 Leipzigs. Excellent. And we have we have Prince Heinrich, a Miyoko, an Independence, and a Fubuki, right? So in the Hourglass map, it's a bit complicated, but a challenge, right? Let's take it. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I don't know much of German, but as much as I know yeah and nine. So yeah, if there's anyone German who's watching, can you please give me some German lessons? I want to come down to Germany. I love the culture of Germany, right? So if it's possible, don't teach me some German. Yeah, other things aside, let's go into the match. I have a Pensacola here. Wow, start hitting me from the first moment. Yeah, bro, I don't even know what you're speaking. We have a torpedo, we have a destroyer very close to us. How do we plan the attack? Right, I'll do this, is that I will, as you can see, we have a good torpedo buffer. So let's plan. I'll change to AAP, right? We have 2 bots here, right? The Farragut and the Pensacola, and we have another ship coming up here. So what I'll do is I will target the Farragut. I have the Prince Heinrich here, okay? So I'll do this. I'll go on a long range gunnery drill with the Prince Heinrich. German versus German. It'll be a fun attack. I will check the, yes, as you can see, the Heinrich is turning towards me. I'll open up my torpedoes, keep it ready because he is going to turn towards me. I am very sure of that. Yes, it is turning. So let's drop some preemptive torpedoes. Possibly we might miss these torpedoes, but as he's turning, we'll go towards his bow, try and pierce the bow. Yes, we got some damage. Shells incoming. It hit hard, but didn't do much of damage. We might get 2 torpedoes hit in it. Let's keep firing our rear guns. We have 2 torpedo hits and we have good damage taken, 6 guns taken. Good. We need to pull in our damages. 2 shots. Heinrich will be shooting its torpedoes, and I guess the Pensacola is out and about. Goodbye, Pensacola. You are the first kill of the match and the other team is in the lead, right? So I need to keep firing my guns. I see the Fubuki by the by the corner of my eye, so I think I will target the Fubuki here. Alright, the Fubuki comes up. Let's plan the attack. Let's take her down and ooh, miss it. Miss it by an edge. Possibly it will not be our kill, but hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. And that's a perfect shot. Beautiful start to the game. We took down 4. They have taken down 2 of ours. Prince Heinrich is in a long range duel with me, trying to take me down. So what I'll do is that I'll just turn around, right? Fubuki I think should be dead here because torpedo hit it, but I don't really sure how this works. I'll keep my torpedoes ready. We are down to a very low. We are. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm speaking, but we have the ship here. My internet connection is faltering a bit, so you might get some lags around. Let the ship enter the zone. Right, I'll just take a turn to increase the Leipzig can go. I'll just drop preemptive torpedoes. I'll keep the other set for the carrier, which I'm going to pursue here. Let's change the guns. Right, will not go through there. I'll just hope the other Leipzig can play something, and while he does that, let's push here. So let's use the speed boost and see how it works. Full speed, let's push it. No lens down. A motor boost active. I like this accent, man. I don't know why, but I just like it. So we are pushing. We are hitting 35.8, 36. We have the Independence in our sights, I guess. It is there, right? But interesting kill because we do not have yes, so we have to target it well. So what I'll do is that I'll just push it, right? I'll not use anything right now. What I'll do is I'll just turn. I will take turn right. Was it starboard or port? I guess it was a starboard side. So I'll take a starboard turn. Correct me if I'm wrong. Take a starboard turn, and as you can see with the double steering, yeah, with the double steering, you can see that we are doing much progress. But we could, I know our team's winning. Alright, okay, I'll try and cap here, which will attract the Heinrich and the Independence, and let's go full gunnery. Oh boy, this looks good. I possibly might win the duel with the Independence, but not very sure. We're anyways capping, so keep in mind that we are capping, so we might not be able to completely cap the cap circle. That was a good salvo. Our reload is over, so let's shoot it down. We won't be able to do anything, so keep an eye out for torpedoes, right? We'll keep shooting. It doesn't attack me. Come on, Independence, you can do better. Just come and attack me. I'll slow down because I want to cap the cap circle as well, because you can never trust a lot on bots, right? So I'll just keep it in range. You can see I have a lot of range, and it's doing a swerving action as if I'll torpedo it, but no, I won't. I'll just so this is bad because he has actually gone undetected. That is not very good. So I have to somehow cap this place, and once it is off capping, I'll just push, right? Because that gives me, I'm being hit. I need to escape, right? Because anyways we are winning. We have 34,000 hit points damage. Okay, I need to push. Now this is the time when the engine boost will work, and I'll put on my torpedoes, and possibly I can torp him. So I'll widen the area. At least one of them might hit. Front guns are active. We'll miss it, I'm sure of that. Woo, 2 guns. Okay. The Heinrich, we are still in the sight of the Heinrich, so we should take this. Ooh, that was a good shot. The engines are down. This should take down the Independence. We are just a bit away. The torpedoes hit. Torpedoes missed it. No issues. So what we will do is we'll take this down. Oh yes, and it's down. That's a beautiful shot. The Leipzig is still behind us, quite a way out of our range, so we might not get anything, but this is a clean victory. We didn't get the battle star, of course, because we didn't do much of a damage, but what we did was good. Well played, everyone. Chorizo in Prince Eitel Friedrich. Well played. Well played. That's a great game. 71. We have decent damage, right? We have 42,482 hit points damage, 2 ships killed. 1788 experience, 76 free XP experience, 28,848 silver. That's good. For battle details, we have taken 3892 hit points damage, and we have done 42,482 hit points. We have done that much of damage for 42,482 hit points damage, and we have taken 3,890. So if I calculate it, 42,482 divided by 3890, we get a factor 10.92. Basically, we have done 10 times more damage, right? We have nearly done 10 times more damage than what we have taken, or 11 times more damage. 10.92 is 11. So as you can see, the ship, if played well, can actually survive a lot. We have 96 main battery hits, 2 torpedo hits. We destroyed 2 ships. We had 1 module damage, right? And if you divide the average damage done by the AP, that is 37,272, right? 37,272 divided by 96, you get an average damage of 388.25, right? That is a decent hit damage which I have done per salvo, right? The per shell, we have done 388.25 damage on an average. It is a great damage number. Great, right? Player details. So Prince Eitel Friedrich, Chorizo did 60,725 hit points damage. So this player is good. Let's send him a friend request. So our CV Meviuseles SL was also good, so we can send him a friend request as well. And the Bolba in Leipzig is also a good. Leipzig brothers, we'll send him a friend request. Here we have 4 players. The Prince Eitel Friedrich was actually good, so we'll compliment him that he was a skilled player, and we will send him a friend request as well. Independence, I would also compliment, right? It was also a skilled player, but no friend request, because I think I can understand what's the big deal in that. I haven't seen the Miyoko and the Fubuki, so I won't comment. But Fubuki, no, I can't say he's skilled player, but I would say he's a sociable skilled player, yeah, because he did survive my first salvo. But yeah, that's all for the screenshot. We have 42,482 hit points damage, 2 ships destroyed, 124 team play. And that brings the end to the review of the Leipzig. As you could see, the Leipzig wasn't an easy ship to play, but if you have the right setup, the right skills, and the right camouflage, all of things, you can become actually a really good player with this and be an asset to your team. And that's what we have been, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching Naval Legends for daily shorts on World of Warship Blitz, and 3 videos a week, longer videos on premium ships, how-tos, ship reviews, and gameplays. And yes, with gameplays, let me inform that I am starting a gameplay commentary video, right? So I have one gameplay commentary on my channel by General Doolittle. You can watch the video on my channel, right? And if you want to drop in your videos, do record them and use a video transfer site like sendbig.com, not sponsored of course, sendbig.com, to make a link and send it over to me via your email address naval.legends.wowsb@gmail.com. Yes, it's naval.legends.wowsb@gmail.com. Drop in an email with your in-game name, the ship which you are playing and its tier, the gameplay link of course, and any context about the ship and the game while you play the game, any context about the game, etc. And finally, if you want people to connect with you, please do send in your socials, right? So with that, we end today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and have a great day ahead. Naval Legends signing off. Thank you.